or Nothing being the name of our studio is definitely a mantra for us. It's how we've lived our lives. Tattooing saved my life as a young man and gave me purpose. For me, tattooing was an answer to being lost. I was very lost, much in the same way that later God became an answer to later being lost. Hello, I'm Brandon Bond. I'm a tattoo artist here in Atlanta. I own All or Nothing Tattoo in a suburb of Atlanta called Smyrna, Georgia. We work 7 days a week, 363 days a year, a minimum of 12 hours a day. I still work those shifts every single day. I just worked 113 days in a row. We do not play. That's hence the name, All or Nothing. All right, it's a day at work. Let's do this, come on. This is Nate.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, this is Marianne. This is Vicente. These are the counter staff. They're apprentices here, they're learning. These are all booths for tattooers. This is our piercing room. This is White. What's up, White?
What's up?
How you doing?
All right.
Ironically, he's black and his name is White. It's pretty fantastic. What's up? So that's why there's in the public studio, there's no walls up. Everybody is out in the open. Everybody sees what the other one's doing, what kind of equipment we're using. Very extreme approach to this search for perfection. And there's no such thing as perfect in art, but we're trying really hard every day. This is our sterile room where we do all of our sterilization and everything, because we take sanitation and sterilization very seriously here, even before COVID. Here is our banner for All or Nothing. We do pictures and stuff in front of here. And then in here is the private studio where I work exclusively. And that's a quick, fast tour of the facility. We have an incredible history here at All or Nothing. We've impacted the tattoo industry in ways that it sounds bad for me to brag about. And I don't mean it that way, but there isn't a tattoo studio in the world that doesn't know who we are. Well, I think the place to start would be what God is in the current state of tattooing. And I say this in all seriousness. Often God is the butt of jokes in tattoo industry. I used to have Team Satan 666 on my car as a joke. I didn't care. People look at Christians from the world I'm operating in a bad light. I think a lot of Christians represent the religion in a bad way. So what we see of it is like, no, I don't want any part of that. I've since learned that God was with me the whole time. I am new to God. God's not new to me. I was blind as I could possibly be to the possibility that God was even a real thing. There was an event, a catalyst that just shook my world to the core. There was an incident where we were throwing a guy out because he was not welcome here. I was wrongfully accused and detained. It was profound and crushing. The longer that I spent in there, the more despair I felt. One of the guys in there turned me on to a book called The End of Me by Kyle Idleman. And in there's a line that says, if you are reading this through tear-soaked eyes, this book is for you. And I was crying. And it was Kyle's book that taught me, no. Jesus was punk rock. He hung out with hookers, prostitutes, and thieves, and in jails, and with those that are lost and broken. And that's what I do every day. Once I finally got released, I was released on house arrest. So the first thing I did before I turned myself into house arrest was I went to church. I got out on a Saturday night. I went on a Sunday morning. My bookkeeper, Carrie, happens to be a Christian who I didn't know but had been praying for me for 10 years. I got saved. It was intense and it was awesome. And turned myself in for house arrest. Now I'm not allowed to leave the house, so I'm not allowed to go to church. As I sat there in my recliner in a bathrobe, smoking cigarettes, because that's my only vice left. I don't drink anymore, none of that. Just smoking cigarettes, watching Kyle Idleman, I began to get closer to God. And And boom, I am at church in my living room. It was, for me, vital. God has already opened doors, and I believe there's no door that God can't open. I've seen it. I've seen locked doors open. I have a newfound love for what I do, a new motivation, and a new voice that I didn't have before. It's different than it was before. We almost lost everything, you know. We were closed for a minute. We've never been closed in 20 years, but this one experience was devastating to us, and we've overcome it, and it's, you know, God's hand is in all of that. I am excited for more of it. I'm new. I'm but a baby in this journey, but I'm overwhelmingly excited about it all the time.